in the Australia game. But it still has a lot resting on it. Here's the schedule for the Group F games in this window. The last game now to round it all off here in the Philippines, as Qatar, who lost on the first day of the competition window at home to Australia. The Philippines lost to Iran, and you can see how important this game is for the Philippines in terms of qualification. They sit currently in fourth. A win would put them level with Japan, and they have the head on the Japanese. That would move them back into third place. A loss would leave Japan in the automatic qualification place, and the Philippines trying to ensure they are the best fourth place team.
Between the visitors from Qatar against the Philippines. Let's meet the roster for Qatar.
Well, the Qatar roster will be the first one out.
Number 5, Mustafa Lashin. Number 8, Tangi Agumbo. Number 10, Yusuf Mohammed. Number 21, Raslan Al-Abdallah. Number 22, Khalid Abdi. Number 25, Khaled Abdel Basset. Number 33, Emir Muitic. Number 42, Nasser Al-Rayes. Number 44, Faris Abdic. And number 96, Yahya Abdel Halim. Head coach for Qatar is Tim Lewis.
Well, you saw Qatar, if they have any aspirations to qualify for the next stage, need a win here. Now, this is normally one of the most difficult places to get the win.
Number 4, Alex Kamashan. Number 5, Dave Norwood. Number 6, Johnny Thompson. Number 7, Boy Elam. Number 10, Ian Sangaran. Number 11, Stanley Pringle. Number 13, Marshall Lessiter. Number 25, Javed Aguilar. Number 30, Bo Belga. Number 35, Matthew Wright. And number 88, Asi Talaba. Head coach for the Philippines is Yang Yao.
Well, there's the rosters, there's the intro. Obviously, the huge changes in the Philippine roster from the game in Iran. We'll cover those after the national anthems, and this is the national anthem of Qatar.
Standing for the national anthem of the Philippines.
And now the national anthem of the Philippines. exchange those mementos
For this game,
at halfway.
no time from Lebanon.
And here's the third team on the floor. The three officials on tonight's game, Nuajim and Shuwali and Jones.
Our main technical
They
delegate
will take the responsibility for tonight's game.
delegate from Kazakhstan, Samson Anakelian. And our game director from the Philippines, Bernie Atienza.
Here is that Qatar roster, same roster that came up a long way short against Australia in the opening game of this second round. Only Tanguy Ngombo got into double figures. That's 14 against the really talented Australian lineup. Here's the starting lineup. Khalid Suleiman Abdi was effective. It's to say he really did try to give this team some leadership. Didn't quite come good for him on that occasion. Now the Philippines is a completely different story with 4 guys who didn't kit up in the loss to Iran in a game where they played very, very well given their resources being really stretched. But they make a massive change in that Christian Stan Ingringer, who had 30 in that game, doesn't kit up this evening. Stanley Pringle steps in, the 31-year-old point guard. It's always a difficult situation, a gym that's empty, especially with a team such as the Philippines that really does play on the emotion. The 45-year-old Borislav Julava on the inside is going to have to really go to work to help Ian Paul Sangalang to ensure that the Philippines don't get into one of those games that with no atmosphere in the gym, they might get dragged into a game. They've got to really be professional and impose themselves on this Qatar lineup because as we saw with the league table in this group, they're in a tight fight with Japan for 3rd place. If you go across to the other group, it's unlikely at this stage. Now, obviously, there's a lot of games to be played. It's unlikely that the 4th place team would come from this group. Jordan, in particular, and Korea have better records. They currently sit 3rd and 4th with only 2 losses at the moment. So they are in a much, much better position. Tim Lewis, the head coach for Qatar, has spent time in the G League in the States as well as coaching in the United Kingdom as part of the UK national team staff that went to the 2012 Olympic Games. From a result perspective, it's a must-win game. Absolute must-win game for this Qatar lineup. Head coach, well, stand-in head coach, Jose Guay. So the Philippines just trying to get through their situation they're in without doing too much damage to their World Cup aspirations. Qatar have to come out positively, really have to try and create the situation for themselves. They cannot just show up and play. Philippines have too much in terms of opportunity in transition in particular. But if they come out here and put in a positive performance on the floor without the crowd, with all the background to the game, Qatar could get the win, and that keeps alive their hopes. Well, the phrase veteran is obviously to be used for Tulaba, and he's going to jump it up. With all the massive destruction in the Philippines, it's a chance to maybe get a little bit of respite, ensuring that they deal with that horrendous situation they have with the typhoon in the north of the country. Had a lot of rain down here in this part as well. And now they can focus on something else for an hour and a half. There's just blocked. Chance to run for the Philippines. Numbers down the floor. Nice pass. Easy two. On the end of the break. That's how to execute. And Shangalang gets down the floor for two. And the Philippines have come out and done what they should have done. Really been aggressive at the defensive end, trying to make this game too quick for Qatar. So Qatar have to spend some time with the basketball. They've got to finish plays like that. Tango Gumbo, I don't think he thought there was anyone coming to block that. Sangalang on the far edge just ran the break beautifully. Nice out of bounds, opens the account for Qatar. Great first step. Number two is good. Stanley Pringle just explodes to the hoop. First step just was a different level. And transition again, you can see where the scenario is for the Philippines. Get it and run. Norwood picks up two on the break. 4 fast break points for the Philippines. That's going to be a foul, as you saw the reach. Lefty looked after the ball well enough. Now they have a size advantage. They've got to take it to the ring strong. They get the drop. Abdel Bassett. It's I'm going to be on the penetration where they can just work their way to the ring like they did then. Well, they can look to try and go on the pass because they do have some size that they can use. Bassett completes the three-point play. The issue's going to be there for Qatar. They had issues containing Australia in transition. Pringle weaves his way to the hoop, comes up with nothing. And this is where Qatar are going to have to spend some time with the basketball. They try and post up. Gombo, the passing angle just wasn't correct.